This video is going to discuss what a link is in an essay. So my first question for you is, what do you think a link is? I hope that you said that a link usually connects to the main idea sentence. So a link is, and I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you, those of you that are going to go on to college or even like as a senior next year, when you go to write essays, your teacher may not always call it a link. Okay, this is just terminology, MELCon terminology that we kind of inherited and ran with maybe 10 years ago at the high school, and we're still using it. A link is another word for elaboration or explanation. So you have your main idea sentence, which is like this, right? Violence is not justifiable under any circumstances because it leads to a constant, never-ending stream of violence. Okay, that tells you that this entire paragraph is going to be about how violence is not okay because it's a never-ending cycle. It just keeps going. It's like the word revenge. You know, I shot you and you shot me and I shot you, and it just keeps going. I shot your brother and you shot my cousin. It's like a constant thing, okay? So that's your main idea. Well, after you have your evidence, which is your backup, right, your facts, your link is going to elaborate on those facts. It's going to explain those facts in relation to your main idea, okay? When you take a look at this next slide, you're going to see at the top, this is our example from yesterday. This is the piece of evidence. So because people across the country were so upset about the death of George Floyd, they responded. In fact, rioters set fire to squad cars and threw bottles at officers. Here is a great link. Setting fire to squad cars is a destruction of property that will only lead to retaliation and hostility with the owners of the car, the police. Throwing bottles at officers can and will injure those officers, which will only lead to officers feeling the need to protect themselves, which could end up hurting someone else. The acts of violence by the protesters can hurt others, and a cycle is created. This cycle has to end. Okay? You'll notice on the screen that there are two sections that are highlighted. Why are these portions so important in a link? I'm hoping that you realized that these sections are totally pointing out what was in the evidence, right? So the evidence says that they were setting fire to squad cars, and here it is, setting fire to squad cars, throwing bottles at officers, right? So we're connecting, we're beginning the link by kind of talking about the evidence. Then the second part, why is this so important? A cycle is created. Why is this so important in a link, in this link? I'm hoping that you said that this is the portion of the link that connects to the main idea. If you'll remember, the main idea was that violence is not okay because it leads to a never-ending stream of violence. Never-ending means that it's a circle. It's like a cycle, right? It keeps going around and around and around. And so this link is good because not only does it mention the evidence and kind of explain it more, it elaborates by connecting to that main idea, okay? Links are the hardest part of an essay because they are 100% your thoughts. You know, the evidence isn't really your idea. The evidence came from a text. The main idea is just kind of a simple sentence, but this link, you'll notice it's lengthy. It's 1, 2, 3. This one's like 4 sentences long. And this is what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for, can you talk about the evidence? Can you explain what that evidence has anything to do with your main idea? Okay. Let me know if and when you have questions, and I can help out however I can.